Over the summer, Golden was host to history in the uncovering.
So we're standing at the archaeological site of Magic Mountain, and from our previous knowledge from those other excavations, we know that it is probably the most important site in all of this area of the world, so along the entire Front Range.
The last archaeological dig on this site was back in the 1990s, but advances in technology allowed these historical investigators to figure out much more about the past.
The earliest evidence for this site goes back to about 7,000 years ago, and we have projectile points or arrowheads from that time period.
For this dig, however, archaeologists plan to just scratch the surface of that history and uncover artifacts from 1,000 to 1,500 years ago.
It's a puzzle, and every single little piece gets us a little bit closer to understanding what people were doing and how they were behaving.
So my name is Clayton. I live right up there, and I've been obsessed with archaeology since I was 3. It's just really cool to actually be in a place where people camped thousands of years ago.
Through all of the shoveling, dusting, sifting, studying, measuring,
Let's measure right here.
and collecting, the public got a bird's eye view.
Sometimes they'll take pollen samples from different layers of dirt to see.
Volunteer tour guides from the area, including the Golden History Museum, took groups young and old through the dig site.
Is that bunch of rocks anything?
It is. What do you think it is?
I think it's either a wall or a hearth.
I think you have some good choices. Previous excavations have shown some walls that looked a little bit like that.
One of the great opportunities is that people can come out and learn what to look for and how to identify artifacts and stone tools.
Unfortunately, many historical clues went missing in the late 1800s and early 1900s when people made artifact collecting at Magic Mountain a family pastime. Still, there is plenty to discover.
So over here we see this metate and mano, the grinding stone. There might be a fire pit in here, but we're not sure yet, and that's why we are taking down units around it so that we can understand exactly what we're looking at.
I've never really seen an artifact in context before except in photographs, and so it's really interesting to see that metate right there.
Part of learning from the past is teaching the public how to identify artifacts.
They're not necessarily really easy to identify unless you know what you're looking at.
And then understand the importance of preserving them.
And hopefully help us when they find something to notify the authority that owns that land, like BLM or City of Golden or Jeffco Open Space, and let us know that there's an archaeological site so that we don't lose all that record of the past. We don't lose those pieces of the puzzle.
I have a bigger knife.